What's happening? What's going on? K Mega 405 coming to you live in 2025 from the 405. What's going on? I'm back again. I told you, man, I'm going to keep this rolling. Another My Thoughts video. And I definitely want to, there's a couple of things I definitely want to talk about today. As right here in the background, you'll see some gameplay from the demo of the Kazar or whatever it said, the Berserker game or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's got that Dark Souls vibe to it. You'll see me get cooked a couple of times, and then I start figuring out that one of the mid bosses or whatever. But you know what? Visually it looks good. It plays a lot better than it plays a lot better than like a Demon Souls, from the last Demon Souls or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I do have a love-hate with these type of, soul-like type of games. It's not as difficult from just starting off, and from what I played, I started to figure out a couple of things or whatever. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, I haven't completed the demo. I just played so much, and then I knew that I had to get ready to start doing the stream. So I was like, all right, let me just show us some gameplay, let people see it. Who haven't got a chance to play it yet, let you guys make the decision on it. But yeah, visually it looks good. There's no doubt about it. I don't know, for me, for the price, is it a day one buy for me? I don't know. But regardless of that, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you, Ocular fan? Good to talk to you. Good to talk to you. I'm over here trying to figure out a couple of things with this chat thing. That's why I usually go on the other app that I'm using instead of going through OBS, because this Twidget be acting weird. But it's all good. We'll sit there and see if I could try to tinker with it a little bit. But thanks for coming through. Really do appreciate it. All right, man. So let's get to it. I definitely let's get first talk about Nintendo Switch 2 news. When I was on the Gamers Council Sunday night, we talked about it in a little bit of detail, and I thought that, and there was a couple of things about this that I thought there was a little that was very surprising, but in a pleasant way. One was, I thought, was like, well, when you see the all black look or whatever, I'm like, that's kind of like Nintendo style. They kind of like to put all those kind of weird kind of cosmetic different colors on it. But the way that they did it with the joy pads or joy cons or whatever, and they have those two different colors that Nintendo Switch has, I thought that was really slick. I love the black look. I was saying that on the council, and listen, shout out to some of the insiders that had the scoop. It's not all the time that they're right on the money. There's some that can get it right a few times, or there's some, but nobody's batting 1,000. But they were batting 1,000 on this story, so that was pretty good to see. The whole question still now is between the price, because people are thinking that it's going to be $400. Some other people are saying it's going to be $500. I think that regardless, if it's going by I think it's by to me, by the resolution. If it's 4K, if it's 4K docked native, $500, I'm not tripping. If it's like what, 1440p, undocked, I think that's a win for $500. If it's 1440p, and it gets upscaled to 4K if it's docked, for $400, I think that's a win too. I'm not really tripping about that too much. I think that's a reasonable price, especially that when nobody's really tripping about Nintendo when it comes to their power aspect. I mean, it's just Nintendo is safely put themselves in a lane to where graphical fidelity doesn't really matter. It just doesn't. So I think that's the one thing about it that makes it appealing, especially for the price point. If it's $400 retail, I would not expect that thing to be 4K. I would expect it to be, like I said, 1440p, and if it's docked, it's upscaled to some games to being 4K. But if it's $500, then it would, I think, fairly needs to be 4K. Undocked, some games might, if the heavier the load of the game, 1440p, but for other games, it needs to be 4K. All the way around. So even with its undocked. So I don't know. I definitely want to hear your thoughts about it, especially. You know what I'm saying? Big Bad Mo is over here saying $399. I know that's what I seen. We'll find out here on the Nintendo Direct. But listen, it's a good time for Nintendo. Nintendo is in a very, 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 very good safe space right now. Just think about this. Nintendo is now now has the number one selling all time console of all time, or whatever you want to call the Switch. I still consider it a console because you can still hook it up to your TV. It just has a hybrid type of aspect to it. And so, I mean, by beating the PlayStation 2, which that's nuts. And that was one of the things that I said a few years ago of why people was already saying, well, why Nintendo still holding on? I said, because they're getting closer and closer to PlayStation 2 record. And there was still speculation that they wouldn't catch it, but they caught it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is at $400, this thing is going to fly. And I definitely am looking to want to try to maybe get one day one. There's a lot of stuff that I really want to buy this year, electronic wise. So, but this Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely something that I'm going to get. I just hope that I can sit there and have the opportunity to get it day one. Especially when I'm now looking at the 50 series cards. I'm looking for a new TV finally. Things like that. So yeah, I want to try to knock out all my electronics here in 2025 because I do not know what's going to happen in 2026 and beyond, especially if there's so-called tariffs coming into piece. Electronics is going to get torn apart. We're going to get cooked. So I think that hopefully that gets talked away. But if there is, electronics is going to be the first thing that's going to hit, and that right there is going to hurt us as gamers, and that's going to hurt the gaming industry, I think, overall, especially if there's going to be games that will try to push that $80 price tag for standard. And I mean, there's only really a few games that could do that. I talked about that before, about maybe a month or so ago. But there's not too many games that could do it. It just wouldn't make any sense. So anyway, but yeah, you're saying no higher. I don't know, man. I just think that. Hold on. I said I was gonna try to fix this, and I did not. Hold on. This thing does this stupid thing. Sign out. Let me sign back in here. I think probably one of the reasons why it's acting up like that. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think personally, success. All right. Success, then good. Let's go ahead and have this thing working so I can show the chat. A little thing popped up. Well, that's a positive. But anyway, I don't know. I'm intrigued by it. And then another thing too that really threw me off that I was not expecting. I said that's just not Nintendo. I would love if Nintendo did it, but I wasn't expecting it. But saying that that it's backwards compat, bro, that's a win. Like that's what I'm saying. Like for seeing Nintendo being user friendly, they're being ultra aggressive, knowing that they have a product that they're going to kick ass in 2025. There's no question. And on top of that, they know that the handheld market is getting very, very sticky. So therefore, it's one of those things to where they know, like, let's go ahead and be consumer friendly. Let's go ahead and bring out let's bring this out. Let's have it to hold the standard to where there's third party, that we know that there's going to be third party support, because that's what's a lot of speculation going on right now, is that the reason why it's being announced now is because they're announcing, like, look, hey, let people know that there's going to be third party support. So go ahead and let people know that your game is going to be on the Switch too, which that's going to give a lot of excitement. So, and especially like for, Call of Duty coming back on there, and I'm sure that there'll be Tekken 8, there'll be Street Fighter, there'll be others. So it's Nintendo is just in a winning position. I mean, compared to what I had those discussions with people in the past, especially last gen, where right after the Wii U, people were putting the nail in the coffin for Nintendo, and look at where Nintendo is now. Nintendo is in a more solid space than where Xbox or PlayStation is right now. I know that there will be some people that will debate that, but listen, if you're one of these people that's always talking about the console sale aspect of it, there's nothing. Nintendo is dominating, and Nintendo is dominating in the console space. And I will talk more about the more information about the console numbers. They're down all across the board, but I think Nintendo is going to change that for at least for them. I don't PlayStation, Xbox. I think that they're cooked, just because of the price. I think that's where the respect of consumer money has to come into effect on these consoles. Xbox, PlayStation is going to have to really consider themselves looking at the competition. And if you have a brand new device coming from your competitor at $400, and you're still having a going close to a 5-year console at 500, 550, it ain't gonna work. People are gonna flock to the Switch. That's just no question. Dang it, this stupid little app. This thing. That's why I use the other. That's why I usually been going to the other app. That's okay. We'll see if I can sit there and get that thing working. Anyway, let me read what some of you guys are saying. You say, okay, so Big Bad Mo said no higher than $399. Yeah, this thing is doing this weird thing again. Why Twitch it act like this? It's so weird to me. It worked, and then sometimes it won't. It says it's successfully up there, but it just won't do the thing where I can show everybody's super chat. Or not super chat, but chat to everybody else. It's so weird to me. It'll work, and sometimes it won't. Okay, well, at least this thing popped up. So let's see if this thing will work now. Hold on. I'm trying to fix this. Let me read some more. What's going on? What's happening? Big Bad Nose said Nintendo dominates console sales and software sales, and they have a hell of a retention. You're right. I'm saying Rich Chili. He's saying Nintendo sells many consoles because the fanboys have 5 to 15 Nintendo Switch, one each color, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm pretty sure that there's Nintendo fans that buy multiple Nintendo devices, especially for family members and things like that, so they can play. But I mean, it's crazy. Like, exclusives only matter for Nintendo. That's just the reality of it. I don't know why anybody makes these arguments anymore about PlayStation and Xbox. If you're a person that is a traditional console gamer, Nintendo should be the only place that you rather would be, because Nintendo is not fled to PC. They don't really have that. They have games on mobile, but they're not the actual games that you play on the Switch. So it's like, to me, that's where you think that you would want to be. Honestly, I don't care enough, because Xbox is where I dwell. But I don't want Xbox to put games on competition. But listen, this is the future of stuff right here, man. And Nintendo is in a position to where they run the console market for what is left of it. It is what it is. I think that a lot of people think that Xbox will be the first one to bow out. I think it's PlayStation to be the first one to bow out. I think that we both have new generations that'll come out. There'll be a PlayStation 6. There'll be definitely the Xbox. We were talking about that yesterday. Xbox Prime, or I would hope they call it Xbox 720 or something like that. But nah. Nintendo is going to be the last one standing when it comes to the console. But having console and console exclusives, PlayStation is going to follow suit like they have everything that Xbox has done. They've seen the light, and PlayStation follows it. It is inevitable. It will happen. And Nintendo don't really have to do that. I still feel like Nintendo, I said this yesterday, that Nintendo will start putting games maybe on PC. Not everything, but maybe maybe mobile game to get some cross-play. I can't wait to find out about their because obviously their online system has to be a hell of a lot better than what it was on the Switch. That was one of the reasons why I played my Switch, but I didn't play my Switch all together, because I wanted to play Smash Brothers, and it worked, but it worked, and it was okay, but it just that weird system. Get us back to modern times. Nobody ain't really going to trip out of them if they don't have a full 4K device. Hopefully, if it's $500, it needs to be a 4K device. But if it's $400, like Big Bad Mo and other people are thinking, then 1440p, if it's docked, it's upscaled to 4K. I ain't tripping either, because the games, regardless, when they were running at 720, looked fabulous. And then they were upscaled to what, 1080p or something like that. Like nuts. It's just nuts. It's just later that some of those games, especially those Pokemon games, that didn't run worth a damn. And then there was a couple of other games like Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I think was that the last one? I think that was the first one, but the one after that, that one was having a lot of stability issues. But other than that, yeah, I think that it ain't gonna matter for the Nintendo fan about 60 frames per second. It just isn't. It's as long as the game works, games works properly. And the Nintendo gamers is not going to give a damn. They're just not, and that's reason, and that is right there where Xbox gamers and PlayStation gamers. See, this is the difference between an Xbox gamer and a PlayStation. Well, I should say an Xbox stand and a PlayStation stand. Xbox stand, doom and gloom every day. Every damn couple of months, here we go. It's over. We're done. I'm leaving. I got separation anxiety. I'm finna just get on out of here. I just think that I'll be better. Even though I got a catalog of 1,000 Xbox games, I'm finna go over here and start over on PlayStation. I may have had maybe 40, 50 games on PlayStation for their exclusives, but now I'm gone over there and I'm there. Then on the other side, then you got the PlayStation stand is in the world of damn delusion and think that everything is hunky-dory and there's lollipops and unicorns and just flying saucers of just glee. When right before their eyes, studio after studio after studio is closing, failing, brand new IPs gone in the wind, and then now you got some of the best people that ever worked at Sony that has helped make Sony PlayStation to where they're at. They're gone, bro. They're in a world of delusion. That's the difference between the Xbox stand and the PlayStation stand. The PlayStation stand just have this crazy utopia thinking this is the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 4 generation all over again, right before their eyes. Yoshida sits there and tell you, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Listen, there's a problem over there. All right. But yeah, Nintendo is cooking right now. They're cooking. All right, here, let's try this again, ladies and gentlemen. So I can sit there and try to see if you guys can be seen. Because you can see it on chat, but I also have some other stuff open, so. It's tripping. It's saying wait. It should already be open. I don't know. Twidget is weird to me. I'll have probably another alternative here pretty soon. But anyway, or kind of bounce back and forth between both apps. The apps I was using yesterday, and then of course, you know what I'm saying, and then like doing my stuff that I do on OBS. But I just want to be on OBS because I want to get it started because I will be doing 5 minutes. Yes, after the Thunder Cavs game, it's going to be really sticky. We don't have I Heart, you know what I'm saying? The big man is out. So now it's gonna be J Will, and then it was just this one kid we picked up from Toronto, and listen, against Mobley, and it's gonna get sticky. I got no doubt my Thunder gonna play hard, but man, the revenge tour game doesn't seem like it was happening. But listen, the Thunder surprised me a lot this season. I would put this as corn what the end record's going to be, but I would put this as one of the, if not the best Thunder team ever, in my opinion. But okay, let's get off of sports. But I just wanted to, but yeah, Fight Night. We'll be back finally. The quest for the Tekken God. I'm going to sit here. I'm in the purple right now. So, and I forget what rank that is, but because there's a couple of ranks there. But I'm on my way to try to get some characters on to the Tekken God level. You know what I'm saying? I said that I was going to do that, and we'll see. We'll see how the kicks out tonight. Hey, Big Man Mo. No, Supersonics is gone, bro. And there's these crazy speculations that the Thunder is going to go. But man, we just signed a 30-year deal. We're getting a new $2.5 billion stadium out here in Old City, man. Like, yeah, it is going to be made by the same dude that made the Nets Stadium and all these other stadiums around the world. So yeah, nah, bro. And then we're going to be making another big, huge building that's going to be the biggest in the. It's going to be the biggest in the United States or in the Western Hemisphere. Like, this thing is going to be massive. I have no idea. why you would build something that big? But listen, it is what it is. Am I going to get on it when they get it built and gone to the and take the elevator to the top? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Old City, I'm glad that Old City is growing, man. It's growing, and that means if you're going to build all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mayor Holt. He's over here doing good things for the city. I can't say that for our governor. Our governor is trash, but other than that, hopefully Oklahomans will vote better. But Mayor Holt, salute to you. You're doing good things for the city. And Tulsa's booming out there as well. So there's no question about that. But yeah, anyway, he said, relax, Mega. He said it's still that OKC team that made the finals. It's still that team. No, bro. No, Omar. I'm telling you, this Thunder team is serious, man. This Thunder team is serious. And as you see me getting my ass kicked by this big ass thing over and over again, I finally beat him. So and I was going to show more gameplay of it, but it didn't. But I had to get time to do this. So anyway, just want you guys to see how this game played. If you are into the Souls-like games, this is definitely a game for you. Again, it's hit and miss for me. Yeah, I love Elden Ring. Elden Ring is something that hits different for me. But I hate Demon Souls. I can't stand Demon Souls. So this is in between. See, look at this. You can't jump. I'm like, man, come on, man. See, if I was the Monkey King, if this was Wukong, I could jump out of that, jump right back in there and get back into the fight. And I'm like, But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not. I just don't know yet. I don't know at this time. Is it a day one? Probably not for me. Not day one, because it's $70. I don't feel like I'll be that committed for $70 on it, unless I got some reward points or something like that. But I don't know. But that's why I'm showing y'all that gameplay. Okay, but back to Nintendo quickly. I feel like Nintendo is just in a winning spot. Too many weird things within Xbox and PlayStation right now at the time. Not saying, again, like I said, I'm an Xbox guy. I'm always going to be an Xbox guy. So I'm not tripping about that. I'm staying home. But Nintendo is just in a safe space because they were very smart on getting out of the resolution wars. They were very smart of making sure that their platform was for their audience. And that to me is where the situation gets sticky. You know what I'm saying? Where it gets sticky for PlayStation and Xbox is because they're not committed. Oh man, I'll keep it. Is not committed, and they're not committed. The fan base at PlayStation is not committed to their exclusives, and Xbox people that, especially content creators that get out here and start talking and bragging about these games, they're not buying them, they're not playing them, they're not supporting them enough. So it's kind of crazy, man. It's really crazy. That's so wild. Y'all talking about the Supersonics. That is not. Y'all, I'm sorry, man. Listen, Supersonics is gonna come back. I think a Vegas team is gonna come before that. So yeah. But anyway, why do I keep getting these Master Chief? I'm getting a ton of these invites from people that want to play the Master Chief Collection. Man, if y'all don't get out of here, I'm getting spammed to death for it. It's crazy. Let's see. Read some more. It says Nintendo. Big Man Mo Square back. It said Nintendo is going to Nintendo. The Godfather does what they want. They do, but see again, it's their fan base that are loyal to them. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, when you say sometimes it's blind loyalty, sometimes they let Nintendo run them over a little bit, but then Nintendo is right now doing a service for them because they know that the handheld department is getting serious. PlayStation's going to get in the ring, Xbox is getting in the ring, the Steam Deck, and then you got the Rogue Ally and all these other handheld peripherals. I sit there and I'm in a group where that's all they talk about, and then I tune out because I don't give a damn about handhelds like that. But it makes gamers excited, and I don't hate on it. I mean, I know that there's usefulness for it, especially if you're on the go or something like that. But I'd rather be looking at a screen playing the game like that. Now, if I'm in a situation of bad weather or if I'm stuck somewhere, then yeah, the handheld is important on that front. But other than that, nah, man, it's not. Like I said, that Switch is 97% docked. Man, I had to clean it up because it was just stayed remain docked the whole time. I only took it out there 1 or 2 times when we had bad weather, so it was pretty wild. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for Nintendo. I'm excited for Nintendo fans. Listen, I'm going to get it. So you know what I'm saying. So I just want to know when it's going to drop, and then try to account for, you know what I'm saying, how the money's going to work out, so I can go ahead and get it and be a part of having that's going to be pretty much my second primary console. Because again, like I said, PC is like my PlayStation side piece. You know, I'll wait for PlayStation games on my PC now. I kind of really don't care about ever buying a PlayStation again. I'm just kind of at that point. I mean, I'm not going to still support PlayStation games, but I can wait. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm going to play it, the PlayStation Pro is not going to perform on the level of what my 4080 is going to give me. And then if I upgrade to, which I say I'm going to upgrade to a 5080 or 5090, then there's nothing to talk about. So again, and there'll be people that'll say, well, what about Xbox? Xbox is just a different animal because there's still games on Xbox that I have from back compat and others. I have a huge library of Xbox games. I'm buying an Xbox console. So PlayStation is the one for me that's asked out. And I'm sure that on the other side of it, when PlayStation gamers that have a big library of games, they can sit there and say, look, I'd rather get my games on Xbox, and that's fine. So again, I talked a lot about that yesterday. We're going to keep it moving. Talk about this new Halo announcement. Supposed to be an announcement for Halo in 2025. I think it's maybe the rumor about the remake. Of course, there was Jez and others out there that's brought up the fact of that the Halo remaster and Halo Master Chief Collection is going to be going to that's going to be going out there to going to PlayStation. I'm not a fan of it, of course, but it is what it is, man. If it goes, listen, there's still Game Pass. There's still the incentives of being on an Xbox, other than the PlayStation. And on top of that, we have years and years of experience to go ahead, and once they do the cross play and they turn that cross play on, they're going to get lit up. I will gladly put boot to ass to any stand that dares want to turn on and play us Xbox gamers into Halo. So I mean, you know, if that's for them to feel that Halo will thrive and get back to dominance again, then we'll just see how it works. If it don't work, then, you know, and then there's people that actually kind of put this in perspective of like, listen, I hope that all these games that is supposedly supposed to be going over to PlayStation all don't sell. Well, if I still don't believe the Forza Horizon thing. I really don't. Motorsport, okay, maybe, but not Horizon. And I'll give you this reason for this. There's only a few more years left before the licenses for Forza Horizon 5 is going to go out. So it wouldn't make sense for them to repay for that license and then ship it over to PlayStation, because the thing of it is that it will be discontinued within the next 2 years, next 2-3 years at max. So if that game is coming over, then that means that they would have to keep that game afloat for a while, and I just don't see that. That just don't make any sense to me. So no, I don't think that's even possible. I don't see Forza Horizon 5. If there's a Forza Motorsport, okay. Or Forza Horizon 6, which I said that yesterday, it's not going to come out for another couple of years. I've seen three years minimum, because of what's going to be happening with Fable. Fable's going to most likely have DLC, things of that nature. Yeah, no. I just don't see it. So, I just, you know, if it happens, it happens. But if it's not the remake, then what else will it be? That's the question. I think it's this remake. I think it's this Halo remake. I think they're going to try to reboot the whole series or something of that nature. I don't know what 343 has cooking up. One thing I still beg for and ask for, and I know that they won't do it. I sit there and I talk to a developer about it, and the developer was telling me that it's just too many resources to put behind and put Halo 5 on the Master Chief Collection. Just because, not because there's people still play Halo 5. I played it not too long ago. I played it before I went on my vacation, and there was still people. It was still full lobbies. It's just that the fact that it's just too many resources, and especially to do that. Now, if they could do a port, and that's something they're still saying because of the assets and trying to port it over to PC and do all that, it's just a little bit too much because that game is so much different than any other Halo games out there. So, that breaks my heart, but that's all I care about right now. Is that you give me some Halo 5. Give me Halo 5. That's all I want. I like it. I love me some Halo Infinite, but I want my Halo 5. That's all I want. So if you give me a remake to Halo 1, yeah, I'll definitely jump on it. Because I love Halo that much. But if it's all kind of old school feeling, look, and all that, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over that old ugly look that we have on some of those models for through Halo Infinite. I love the Halo 4. I love the Halo 4. I love the Halo 5. And loved some of the and loved how the Spartans looked in like Halo Wars. Yeah, so I just want a kind of a new, modern, more futuristic look. I was saying. So we'll see. I know that when they showed the real engine version of that little demo skit or whatever that they showed of Halo, it looked good. It looked good, but we'll see what they got cooking up. I have faith in the new staff. I've never really was the one that really tried to shit on 343 like a lot of other people because they've never made a bad Halo game. You may not liked every Halo game the way that you may have liked the Bungie games, but they've never made a bad one. They've never made a bad one. Even the little twin shooter games, even those two games aren't bad. They're just not bad. 343 has not made a bad Halo game. Bungie has not made a bad Halo game. I think ODST is probably the worst out of what they've done, and that still wasn't a bad game. It was old and it felt old, but nah, there's not been a bad Halo game out there. It just hasn't been. If we're going to be realistic about it. Let's see what Sir X-Men says. I don't care what people say. Halo 5 Guardians is the GOAT. It is, and man, listen, multiplayer is the GOAT. Story-wise, I can see where there's holes there. People it might not be their favorite. I get that. But just to say that, Halo 5 is trash, shut up. Shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. You just hate and hate. One of the best multiplayers out there. There's no question. Halo 5 is so good. We had so many great modes. And I love the fact that what Halo Infinite does they got a lot of tons of modes now. It's one of those things where it's like kind of like with Battlefield 2042, a little bit too late. They should have had this already implemented and in the works, and we should have already been into it, and I would have been playing it more consistently than how like I am kind of spotty now I'm kind of back on my Battlefield kick. I've been playing Battlefield a lot here lately, but I was gonna say, and Battlefield 2042 feels good. So Sir X-Man, you'll catch me playing some more Battlefield. I'm back on the Battlefield kick again, but there's no there's really nothing like what Halo 5 brought to the table. It just was too good multiplayer wise, and how not to think about not to have Warzone is disgusting to me. Warzone is perfect. Even the people that hated Halo 5, they did like Warzone. There was just it. So I don't know. We'll see what they got cooking. It's just a rumor about their announcement. If they do an announcement, then that means there might be and there's speculation that there's that the new console, that the Xbox Prime is going to be coming out in 2026. Then if that's a launch title, if you think about this, hold on, let's just put this in perspective, right? Because let's just say that Fable gets delayed until 2026. So if we have the potential, if this Xbox Prime is going to come out in 2026, you could have Halo, Call of Duty, Fable, and Perfect Dark as a launch lineup. Let me say that again. Hold up. Fable, Halo, Perfect Dark, and you sit there and you got those games lined up in a Call of Duty lined up as launch titles for a new upcoming console. Nothing PlayStation could bring The Last of Us or that one Intergalactic and another Spider-Man and Gran Turismo. And let's put another game there. Another God of War. That's a great lineup, but that ain't on that lineup of Xboxes. Not even close. I know that people will say, nah. God of War will be the only game that would be the one game that will be holding them up. Now, I am intrigued about Intergalactic. I don't get it twisted. But Spider-Man is going to be Spider-Man. It's not going to be too different from what the other Spider-Mans was. And then if you got another, you know what I'm saying, whatever title that they're coming out there, would have to come with something that's something from their archives that would really spark something, like let's just say a Killzone or like, you know, I always talk about Mark of the Cree. I wish PlayStation would really do that. I don't think that they'll ever bring it back a Mark of the Cree, but something of that ilk, like, you know, Bloodborne. But then there's reports about, you know, Bloodborne. Old dude is so busy right now that Bloodborne is not even being talked about right now. So, you know, that's the only way. But not God of War will be the only game that would be. Oh, I said Gran Turismo as well. Ain't happening. It ain't happening. So I think that would be a fantastic lineup. If that is true, that where Xbox is coming with a new line, and then on top of that, they're going to have more games because there'll be Game Pass games. There'll be all different types of stuff, and of course there'll be stands. They'll say, "Oh, it's coming to PlayStation." Yeah, but still, it ain't going to be the same, bro. It just isn't the same because you don't have Game Pass to sit there and to fall back on. Because there's 4 games right there, and every Xbox gamer can play that. Not every PlayStation, not every PlayStation gamer will be able to play all. Let's say if they had a killer lineup, like I just said, of Intergalactic, God of War, Spider-Man, and Gran Turismo all come in as a launch for launch titles. Not everybody is getting those games, or will be able to play those games at the same time. Everybody on Xbox will be able to play COD, Halo, Fable, and Perfect Dark. Every Xbox gamer. Think about that. And every PC gamer that is locked in that has PC Game Pass. So, I mean, it's a win. It's a goddamn win. So I don't know, man. Like, so that's a potential. If all these rumors is true, that is a crazy potential. We all know baby steps will baby steps is going to be chilly stupid. Baby steps is going to be, listen, the way that the Keeley Awards are, I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't doubt it, to be honest with you. But man, I hate that about this chat thing. I really wanted to kind of show these people chat. I don't know why this thing acts like that, but round one. No, I ain't gonna try that either. I'll just leave that. There was one thing too that was pretty fascinating that I found on Twitter. I want to show this to you too. This is I've seen that Infinite Umbra posted it, but I did not know this, so I want you guys to hear this. This is pretty dope. Watch this. Let me put this in here. Okay, check this out.
Kingdom Hearts was inspired by Black history and nobody told me! The series director for Kingdom Hearts did an interview where he revealed a secret about the game's inspiration. And he shared that he was deeply influenced by Robert Johnson, an African-American musician that's been the subject of many legends. In the most popular one, The Devil Goes Down to Georgia, Robert travels to the crossroads and trades his soul for a guitar that gives him instant mastery. And that location became the setting of very important moments in the Kingdom Hearts series. It was where Keyblade masters gathered, the location of the Great Keyblade War. And it all got its start in this piece of African-American folklore. Robert Johnson even got his own manga, so it's cool to see how his legend is spread globally. If you're a Black nerd, know that your culture inspires people in ways that even you can't see. Never forget that a diversity of creative influences can help create iconic stories. Kingdom Hearts.
Now think about this for a second. Just put this in perspective. Like, I had no idea about this, so shout out to Umbra for even posting this. Now, of course, being from the South, like, some people don't really consider Oklahoma from the South because, if we're mid-South or whatever. But listen, we all eat the same thing. A lot of my family migrated from Mississippi to Oklahoma. Got a lot of ties in between that, the Trail of Tears, and all that other stuff, right? But that's one of the reasons why I'm light-skinned. My beginning of my family is really light-skinned, and now my family is mostly all dark, and there's only a few left of us being light-skinned. It's crazy how genetics work, but whatever. Because of our Native American roots. But the thing that's crazy, though, we all knew about the folklore about, with voodoo, with Robert Johnson, with all that folklore that goes on within the blues and stuff like that. And so I did not know that had anything to do with Kingdom Hearts. And you see when these people, these certain type of people that keeps going after certain type of games or developers or whatever, they don't ever attack people from the East. They never go after the Eastern developers or anything like that. They always kind of cherish them and place them. But then look at how they went from going to the West and going for other places and putting diversity into their games and making their own stories out of it. See, this is the thing when I talk about diversity, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it too much. I just thought it was fascinating, is that these type of things right here is why diversity in games, and it doesn't matter about color or anything like that. It's just about, that's what makes great games. Who would have thought Kingdom Hearts was following after Robert Johnson, a blues player that sit there and sold his soul to the devil, become the best guitar player ever. And Robert Johnson is a real person, by the way. Like, it's crazy. And so it's really nuts, right? Like, so I don't know, man. It's really fascinating stuff to me. I just thought that was just something that people needed to hear, and how that tie in, and especially like these people ain't going to go after Kingdom Hearts, because if you really want to talk about it, it would be a DEI type of thing, right? Like, it would be that crazy bullshit that they be saying. But anyway, I just thought that was fascinating. Had no idea. It makes sense because of the setting and things like that. And also, if you did not follow this, is that Robert Johnson is a big key and a part to the upcoming game South of Midnight, which is one of my most anticipated games of this year. And that's kind of following that story and that folklore of Robert Johnson and all of that. So, like, I'm glad that they're going deep into the bag and bringing in stories and content that a lot of people don't really understand or know about, and bringing this out to the light. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And man, South of Midnight, that's a day one buy. I'm not that Game Pass. Yeah, that's cool. But no, I'm buying that. I'm buying that piece. That's fantastic. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, for sure. But now we're going to go ahead and talk about, like, get off of that, because I really rather talk like the Halo situation. We'll find more stuff out. I'm excited about it in the sense of it's Halo. I just got to see it, So, like, I don't know. I'm not burnt. I don't feel burned by Halo Infinite like I do like Battlefield. I don't feel burned like that because Halo Infinite, when it first dropped, it was fantastic. It's just that there was a lot of people made a lot of weird mistakes on not taking care of the game during that stretch, and then the whole backlog of DLC and things like that. Or I should say content throughout that year, and it was just absolutely dry. And then on top of that, you had those desync issues and all of that. And the third, and then, of course, Staten, he gets there and, of course, cuts everything even though the Infinite story was fantastic, it could have been so much better. He just cut out the tie-ins on certain things, and there was just still answers that needed to be asked, and now that it's up in flux, we don't know where the story's going to go, and that to me is, that. So it's not me feeling burned on Halo on that, it's just the uncertainty of things. Battlefield, though, I feel burned. Whatever the new Battlefield coming out, I'm not buying it day one. I'm just not. I'm not. I felt totally disrespected. So I'll just wait until it gets it launched. Well, and I'll probably still be subscribed to EA Play. So I'll play it that way to find out what's going on and let them figure it out. Now, if it's popping like I hope it is, like it should be, then okay, then I'll go ahead and I'll put the money down. But it ain't gonna be no day one just going in blind and saying, oh yeah, no, it's gonna be solid. No, I'm not doing that. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Yoshida. Let me say, well, first of all, before I talk about Yoshida, let me go ahead and say, Sir X-Man says, don't forget Mecha Break is also only coming to Xbox and PC, so technically that's also that's another exclusive. But I think that'll be a time exclusive, maybe. It's not like there's going to be something that's going to move the needle. It looks dope. It's going to be a game that I'm going to play. There's no question. But it's not that game that's going to move the needle. Like for instance, like a Blade. If Blade is exclusive, now we talk. Starfield still remains exclusive with extra DLC content. Now we talking. And then we can start to believe in Xbox talking about a case by case scenario. But for right now, when we're hearing all slate, everything's going, you just don't know what to expect right now. Like a lot of Xbox gamers is in a state of limbo, and it's not taken away from the gaming. Is what I've always keep alluding to is like, look, if they do this, it's not cutting off my Xbox. My Xbox is still going to cut on. I'm still going to play Xbox games. I still got Game Pass. I still got my library of games. It's the only thing is just different is that these games aren't exclusive anymore. They don't have, and if people have that decision about, well, the consoles are not as is not as wanted or desired as because of this move, then that's yet to be determined. We'll see it. I know that when we look at the numbers now, it looks quite true, but I think this is more of an industry thing and generational thing in my opinion, more so than it's just about what Xbox's move is. I think the reason of the generational move and shift, I think that's the reason why Xbox is going ahead and making this move now. It's not because of the fear of thinking that PlayStation is going to finally take them over, because I like I said, PlayStation is in trouble themselves. So which game you talking about? Which game are you talking about? Am I going to buy? Yeah, I'm going to buy South of Midnight. There's no question. I'm going to represent that. No, I'm buying that. I'm buying Shadow of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yeah. Anytime that I see, I'm saying, hell, I'm buying Intergalactic when it comes on PC. But I'm saying, I'm buying Intergalactic day one when it drops on PC. I'm gonna show my support. I want to make sure that I want to get Grand Theft Auto. See, I was not gonna get Grand Theft Auto. I was gonna wait. Now I'm finna double dip because these people keep on trying to be crazy and being stupid. I'm like, hell, I'm gonna double dip. I'm finna get. I was gonna wait for the PC version of Grand Theft Auto because I'm knowing that the console version is not gonna run well. But I'm getting it just because they keep on saying this crazy mess about what they don't like and what they want to try to stop. I want to do the complete opposite of that. I'm finna buy those games. I'm finna sit there and keep supporting my subscription services, but I'm finna buy those games. That's just me right there. He says, you buying Battlefield Day 1? No, I'm not buying Battlefield Day 1. What's going on with it? I know it's been a minute. No, I'm not buying Battlefield Day 1. I'm not. Like I said, I still will probably most likely still be subscribed to EA Play. So I'll play it and make the judgment there, and then I'll buy it later. But I'm not buying it day one. I'm not paying the $100 version for it. They broke my heart. They broke my heart with Battlefield 2042. They broke my heart. That was poorly done. That game had all the potential in the world to be probably my most played shooter, but man, awful. It plays really good now. Like you see, like that's what I'm saying. Like when I played it just the other day, I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what this game should have been, at least in the first week of the game. Like once they got some patches coming, I wouldn't even give it a month. But for it to be that poorly performed, the way it performed. I played it on Xbox. I played it on PC. It ran like mud, and then the lack of content and the excuses behind it. And then when you said, but then they wanted people to still continue to pay, and I paid $100+ for that game. Nah, bro, no, you ain't getting me day one on that one. I've learned my lesson on that. I learned my lesson. Anyway. Let's go ahead and see what's saying. You said what Halo game? Okay, so John T. No, you just kind of you got in here, but there's an announcement of it. It's They're saying that there's going to be an announcement here in 2025, so most likely it'll be a 2026, 2027 release. I would think that it would be a 2026 release, just because of this reason, because I was just making this point of saying, look, if they're bringing this Xbox Prime, think about this type of lineup, because I don't think the Fable's going to come out this year. If Fable do come out this year, that's a fantastic, God, that's going to be a solid year for Xbox. But think about this oh my God, and I'm not even thinking about Gears of War. See, now it could be Gears of War could come out this year. Gears of War could be, okay, so Halo could be announced. Gears of War could be announced E-Day, and E-Day is ready to drop here in November. So you can't drop E-Day and Fable. So that's why I think Fable's going to get pushed. Perfect Dark they're saying is moving along great, and I think the Perfect Dark will be a launch title for Xbox anyway if the console is coming out in 2026. So that's my thing. But if you had a lineup of Halo, Perfect Dark, so I already said the other games. Okay, Fable. And then I named another game and I can't forget right now. But yeah, if you got those 3-4 games that's going to be coming out next year as Call of Duty. That Call of Duty was the 4th game. And if those 4 games come out as launch titles for the next Xbox, man, you can't beat that. It doesn't, I mean, Nintendo is going to still sit there and have their games, but that lineup is too serious, because and my whole reasoning behind that is that if you got all those games, right, people was like, well, how are you going to play it all? Easily. You got Game Pass. You don't have to buy every game. You just sit there and still stay subscribed to Game Pass. You can buy them later. Hell, you could just buy if you know what I'm saying, if you strap for cash for the holidays or whatever, because of however much that new Xbox is going to cost you, you could sit there and just pay for that $30 premium bundle, and you set. You can play every one of those games. No other console is going to have that type of feature. PlayStation damn sure is not going to bring that feature to it's not going to bring that feature like Game Pass to the PlayStation fan base. Just not. Nintendo isn't either. So, I mean, Xbox has a real good potential if the new console is coming out next year, as rumored. Or if it's coming out in 2027 and that's still kind of like the same lineup, right? Then you winning. I mean, then Xbox gamers is winning, and I still that would give a boost to the Xbox console. It will. So, but we'll see. We'll see on that. But there's a Halo announcement. I think it's going to be the Halo remake, and we'll see what Halo game that we announced. I know that they're talking about the Direct is going to be a little bit more stout. I mean, I talked about this yesterday, saying like, well, they're talking about Ninja Gaiden. I just don't see that. That's a big enough game that should be talked about in June, not now, unless it's kind of like a cell shaded, kind of like Kaiba or something like that. But who knows? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? For the rumors are saying that this Direct is going to be a little bit bigger. And I didn't say anything yesterday about Expedition 33, which, oh my God, I'm so hyped for that game. And for the fact to find out that game is only going to be $50. See, that's the thing that's going to be the winning ticket for a lot of games like that going forward. This whole $70 game thing, this is the reason why the games aren't being bought. People aren't trusting these games if they even have the potential of wanting to get them. They see that $70 price tag and they're like, nah, man, I'll wait for a sale. And then at this point, they might, buy other things instead. And then that game gets overlooked. So that's what I'm saying. Like, man, that was very smart of that studio of Sandland to sit there and bring them to bring that game out to be $50. I think that for unknown titles, I said this before, last year and the year before that, the same, like for new IPs, you kind of, I would say, take a little bit of the L and undercut yourself a little bit for bringing in a game at $50, $60. Just to sit there and get, because knowing that game is going, because it's a brand new IP, if you want to get people to want to get interested in it, that price range is automatically going to get people invested into it. Not only that game looks beautiful, but that's another thing to it I think that will work. So we'll see. Halo COD, Perfect Dark, yeah, and oh, you said State of Decay. Ooh. Big Bad Mo, yeah, man, that's nuts. Yes, yes, Richili, I did see Steam. I did see Skyrim on Steam for $4, but I mean, I got, man, I can't tell for a game I've never beaten, right? A game I've never beaten. I bought that game so many damn times. I don't know how many versions of Skyrim. I have it on everything. I got it on Nintendo. So I don't know, man. I don't know. 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 It's good. But if anybody who has not got Skyrim yet, go get it. Expedition is in Game Pass, isn't it? Ah, man. Ah, ah, ah. But it's $50 too. So just what I'm saying, like, if you love it that much, and see, and that's what I do. That's what I do with the game. If I love it that much, man, I'll buy it. There's no question about it. I don't care if it's on Game Pass or not. Like, if that game is popping, I'm copping. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. If you know what I'm saying, I love Game Pass. And there's some games that I played on Game Pass that I didn't buy that I liked on Game Pass and I thought that was cool, but if I love that game, I'm buying it because just for the mere fact I know that eventually it's gonna leave Game Pass, and I don't want like Octopath Traveler. That game is Persona 3. I haven't bought Persona 3 yet. The Reloaded. I haven't bought it yet because I bought SMT Vengeance instead. But again, it's going to be coming up here to where most likely you'll probably be leaving Game Pass here probably in the next couple of months, and so I'm going to have to cop it. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm going to like it. I played a little bit of it. I didn't get a chance to beat it yet, but hell, I didn't even really get a chance to really beat it to play it that much. I played maybe probably about an hour, and then I jumped on something else. I probably jumped on it. Probably was playing I was playing Tales of Arise and all the DLC, and then I was like, I'll get back on Persona, and then got caught up. Hellblade dropped and other games dropped, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll get to it. But that's my whole thing. Like, I mean, yeah, if I really know that game is going to be good or if that game is going to be great, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cop it. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I love what Game Pass offers, and especially how long they stay in the Game Pass. That also gives you time to sit there and maneuver and make a budget for it. So I don't know. I that's why I'm just saying, like, the people keep trying to dog out Game Pass and want Game Pass to go away. Microsoft, you make plenty of money. Don't listen to these fools. Keep it going. It's going to work out, and it is working out. It's making a lot of money. So I think a lot of people just keep on trying to. Case in point, how many times did people have put the nail in the coffin on Netflix? Think about that. How many people have always been saying that Netflix was gone or Disney Plus was out of there? And yeah, they'll say something like, well, look at Paramount, or look at what's going on with Max or something like that. Yeah, but again, is Paramount sitting here making the same type of money as Disney? No. Is Warner Brothers making the same money as Microsoft or Disney? No. I understand that they're caring about budgets, but now we get into the era where these businesses are going to start making money hand over fist. There's going to be and I wouldn't be surprised if there's not even more really crazy acquirements and everything because of new administration and everything like that. And so it's going to be, man, these corporations are going to be making crazy money. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Game Pass will be fine, just like Netflix will be fine. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be all right. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to talk about Yoshida. Yoshida brought up something that was pretty interesting to me. It's something that I said that, listen, when he got put into the indie department, I said that he got demoted. I said, you know what I'm saying, how are you a CEO of a company and then all of a sudden you're in charge of indie games? And he did a good job with the indie games, right? And don't forget to hit the like button, share this out, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We'll be doing this every every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm doing this on a Thursday because I didn't get a chance to do my thoughts on a Tuesday. So I'm doing it on the Thursday, and then I'll be doing Fight Night. Fight Night will be back on Sunday, but we'll be doing Fight Night on Thursdays. If I can catch my brother Yobi or whatever, and whoever else, you know what I'm saying, maybe we could try to do Fight Night on a Tuesday, something like that. I'm going to be bringing up Sports Night to where we're going to be playing these sports games, having a good time. So usually probably on a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, or something like that. So, you know what I'm saying, I hope you guys will participate. You know, we'll be streaming all different types of stuff as well. So I said that I'm coming back to work, so I'm back to work, and then here following later in the year, I'll be bringing up another podcast. It will be different. It won't be like GRG. It'll be different, but we'll still have fun with it and things like that. So, but yeah, that's for way further down the line. But yeah, I just, you know what I'm saying? He said, let me see what Neymar is saying. He's saying, I don't personally use Game Pass much, but I think it's an amazing service. Yeah, it's a great service. Like, I mean, when I used to sit there and hear people tell me, no, I just don't use Game Pass, it just doesn't seem like a right service. But and I'm like, hold up. Did you ever go to Blockbuster and rent games? Yeah. Did you ever go to Hollywood Video and rent games? Yeah. Did you ever go to Redbox and rent games? Some people said yes, some people said no. Did you ever use GameFly? Some people say yes, some people say no. Did you ever use Netflix to rent games? A lot of people said yes. So if you are participating in any of that stuff, and yet you still have this mind thought, this conception of, well, you know what, this isn't really gaming to me. Well, hold up. And I like to buy my games. Well, why the hell did you go to Blockbuster and rent games? Why did you rent games from Best Buy? I'm sorry about Best Buy, but from a Netflix or from GameFly. Why would you? So this is nothing but a enhanced version of this. It's nothing more. It's actually a better version because you have access to so many games, but you're just paying for the service. It's not like you're getting this shit for free. I know that everybody keeps saying that these games are for free. It feels like it because you get so much value. But I just, and I'm not saying I'm not coming after you, Omar. I'm just saying that the people that's always keep making these same statements like that. And I'm like, hold up. I see a lot, especially these PlayStation stands, when I sit there and they would brag about how they would go to Redbox and go play those games and buy those, rent those games and beat them and send them back within the time frame that they were supposed to be brought back. I don't know. So that's this whole crazy thing that I just don't understand. It really trips me out. But Yoshida, listen, he did a great job as a CEO. Sean Layton, he tried to dress up like Phil Spencer and stuff like that. That was kind of weird and all that, but he did a good job at PlayStation. Now he was, he wasn't the GOAT Jack Tretton, but Yoshida, I think overall maybe had a better resume than Jack Tretton did. Maybe. But I always consider Jack Tretton the GOAT of PlayStation CEOs, in my opinion. I feel bad for Yoshida in a sense because it seems like because you could tell that there was a difference there. And then Yoshida said himself, which was wild, said that, look, I think that they were gunning for me. Like, what I'm saying? He said it in a funny way. Go ahead and read that part right there. Oh, snap. Let me read that. Go ahead and show that part right there. Where he says it, so people won't say I'm lying. Where he says, Yoshida says that if he was still in charge of PlayStation first party, he would have tried to resist the PlayStation live service push and joke that maybe that is why they removed him. They didn't joke. She's not joking. He got demoted. I mean, let's just keep this 100% factual. He got demoted. I'm a CEO, and then you over here, and then you pedal down, and you messing with you in charge of indie games. That's a demotion. So to me, it's like Yeah, the whole live service thing, we get this. This is the whole panic zone thing of whatever that Xbox went through, and with the Xbox One generation, when Phil and the former CEO of EA got into a lot of hot water because they said that single player games just doesn't generate the same type of money that a live service game was. And at that time, PlayStation was killing it, and Nintendo were killing it with their single player games, because that was, we're talking about some of the best games that's come out in a minute. Like the end of last gen will go down as one of the best game lineups in gaming history, that goes with the 2010, and then the 2000, and then I think it goes to 2001, and then it's 1997 and stuff like that. So that will be, that part of the era in gaming will be listed as one of the best gaming lineups of all time. What's crazy though is that the formula, they all seen the formula. Every last one of them, they all seen it. They all seen it, and Yoshida didn't want to bend, and neither did Sean Layden. They all seen the formula, because Yoshida and Phil and all the rest of the industry, because they said, listen, this game Overwatch, it don't probably cost more. It doesn't cost as much to make compared to you making a Horizon Zero Dawn, right? And look how much money this game is generating. Man, the game won Game of the Year. And this is this whole push of where the VGAs and the gaming media and everybody went on this tirade of trying to save and preserve single player games, because they were afraid that these online service games, these free to play games, and all that other stuff, these multiplayer games was going to completely dominate, and then there was not going to be any more single player games. We fast forward to now 2025, and you see what's happening with single player games. Nobody aren't buying them unless it's a well-known commodity. Now PlayStation games aren't selling like that. They're just not. He was just talked about, Yoshida also brought up the fact, like, he didn't understand why Horizon Forbidden West didn't sell the same equivalent or even higher than what Zero Dawn did. And there will be people that will make all different types of stupid excuses about, the whole grifter stuff, incel talk, but then there'll be the part of saying the story just isn't as good or whatever. You know what? It's that $70 price tag. It's the greed. It's the enhancements that when you have somebody to pay you pay another $10 for an enhancement. Well, that $10 was taken away from the $70 that they might have put together to buy Horizon Forbidden West. See, again, that's the type of stuff, the strategy that Sony has done has been nickel and diming their fan base, and they've responded by, listen, okay, I'll buy your console, but I'm only going to buy the traditional games that I like. When you bring a Spider-Man and a God of War, I'll holler at you. All the rest of these games, I'm not feeling you. That's what they said. You said 1998 was the GOAT year of gaming. We're gonna have this discussion again, Sir X Man, because I think that I was in 1997, you was 1998, and there was, we'll have to have that discussion again. I forgot that was a great discussion to talk about the best gaming years in gaming history. But yeah, and that's the thing for me. I do feel bad for Yoshida, but Yoshida's free. And now Yoshida's opening his mouth. Sean Layden's opening his mouth. Jim Ryan is probably going to start saying something here in a little bit. That's why I keep saying that, like, PlayStation stands out here in La La Land. They just closed down Godfall quietly. See, this is what really pisses me off about the gaming media, the gaming media of today. What pisses me off more than anything is that they went after Microsoft, they went after other corporations for Take-Two and others, but oh no, Sony sits there and do the same thing. Shh, no, we ain't gonna talk about that. Leaks and everything else. Shh, we ain't gonna talk about that. Oh, there's a leak about this game is going to be coming to PlayStation and things like that. Man, Godfall was not a bad game. Now, again, what I thought that hurt Godfall was the pricing. I thought that they were asking for too much for that game. And everybody could look at the game and see, yeah, it looked pretty, but the game just didn't look like that type of game that warranted that type of money for a launch title. And then the whole selling the can of goods of saying, oh, this game can only be played on the PlayStation hardware because of that Kraken SSD technology. These graphics, this SSD is what made these graphics look this sweet and makes this game run so well. Yeah. Well, yes, I got Godfall on PC, PlayStation, and on Xbox. And what's wild, I think what the version I got of Godfall is on the PlayStation 4. So listen, anyway. So yeah, and there's damn sure no SSD in the PlayStation 4. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Richily saying the goat year of gaming is the one where you live at mom's while you had cash for games, the time to play. Oh my God. Yeah, that part is true too. But and also you get to a point too where you get older, your kids get older, they get grown, and you have that extra income to where you could go ahead and you can start buying games and stuff like that. So yeah, it comes back. It just takes a while. So. And yeah, your kids will still sit there and ask you for some money from time to time for something. But then you say, no, you're getting too old. Figure it out. Unless it's an emergency or something. But anyway. But yeah, no, I thought that was really interesting. I mean, obviously they didn't like the live service thing. I know a lot of PlayStation fans don't like the live service thing, but I mean, the reality of it is that live service games is what keep the lights on for a lot of games. I mean, for a lot of teams, for a lot of games. This is why Halo will still be relevant. This is why COD will. Listen. There'll be people they've been trying to put COD in the dirt for I don't know how long, and COD just remains to be strong and powerful. And I will never question COD ever again. I always did. I thought when Battlefield had the opportunity to make the move, no, I'm just not questioning COD anymore. COD's proven me to be wrong many times, so it's not going anywhere. And then, of course, like the NBA 2Ks and the Maddens and things like that. See, again, yes, sales will go down because of the greed of what these teams, with some of these strategies and what these companies and publishers will do. But but you just want them to adjust. You don't really want those games to go away, especially like when you have, and then on top of that, you need competition. So I would look at EA to want to sit there and to finally get back into the space of wanting to make a basketball game, or another developer. Hell, if Xbox wanted to sit there and get into the hunt or something of that nature. But I mean, again, that would mean that would be kind of messing up relations, I guess, with Take-Two or whatever, especially putting 2K on Game Pass towards this time, probably about February. I think February, March, that's when they'll start putting 2K on there. But yeah, to me, it's just like competition is what's going to be the best key for that. But live service games is the key. Now, again, a lot of people don't like the way that these new strategies are with the seasons and stuff like that. Loot boxes would still. I still think that loot boxes was a better option. I really do. But the media sit there and jumped on that, and now the media is over here trying to sit there and tell you that season passes are a better option. No, they're not. They're worse. They're worse than what the loot boxes were. Way worse. The only thing that the media deserved to punch back on thoroughly was what EA did with the Star Wars Battlefront 2 and what the studio that made Shadow of Mordor tried to do with the loot boxes in Shadow of Mordor. That was, those things were egregious. Most everything else with the loot boxes seemed to be pretty fair in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it is. Well, you know what I'm saying? So that's my situation right there. That's my whole thought process behind that. But single player games, they're just not selling well. And unless they're a big one. Grand Theft Auto is going to save the day for sure. And then for a good game that's like Hogwarts Legacy or something like that that did phenomenal, then the game did. See again, this is this type of weird, crazy things just hurts everything all the way around. And then especially like, okay, like what I think as gamers, a lot of us has forgotten is to have fun with these games. None of these games are perfect. None of them. These developers are not perfect, right? The one thing I think that us gamers have forgotten is how we used to game. There was no way in hell that we would sit there and every game that we played back then was perfect. It wasn't. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect at all. We got past the quirks. We got past the bad voice acting. See, we got people now that's like, well, I need the grass to sway the same way. I need to sway away when the wind is blowing and when the person is walking through it. There's, that person that's walking through the grass. It moves. It moves accordingly to what the wind and the trajectory of all this and how he's walking or she's walking through the grass. Then I want to see the character models be perfect. They got to look fantastic. The animation, the moving animations has got to be perfect. And then when they're talking, the voice acting has got to be top notch. We're talking about movie style, fantastic. And then we got to see the facial animations that's got to be just as perfect. Gameplay has got to be tight and top notch. On top of the story, it's got to be every story has got to be on the level of Mass Effect, of the Mass Effect trilogy, or The Witcher, or The Last of Us. For me to sit there and say that game is a complete game. So if that just annoyed you for me saying all that, then just think about when every time that you see developers they're seeing this shit every day. Gamers have forgotten how to have fun. When you put a game, like for instance, Most Wanted. Voice acting is horrible. Animations is fire. The combat in that game is fire. The story is stupid, but that is a fun damn game, and I'm happy that I bought it. That's it. There's so many content creators and gamers out there that sits there and rather get online and bitch about everything instead of just having fun again. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. And then when we do find those masterpieces, that's when it makes it even more enriching and this makes it more fantastic. But now we just seem like every game has to be this masterpiece. And just like with everything, not everything is going to be balanced out the same way. It's just not how it works. So when I'm looking at a game like Godfall that failed, right? There was people that was expecting this game to be on the same level as like a Spider-Man. This is their first IP. This is a brand new studio. Yeah, that was the game. The game had its quirks and it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It had a weird, animation every once in a while. But then when that game was right, the game felt good. The game was fun. That's all that mattered. I think that's all that matters. I've never forgot that part about gaming. That's why I could go back and play Hardline and look at how ugly that game is and still have a blast and play that all night. I could go back and I could play an old ugly game and remember the nostalgia of it and just enjoy it. But I don't understand today's gamer, the way that what they expect. And then when these games don't do well, and then we're talking more about numbers and how these games ain't selling a certain way and this and that and the third. Well, we're forgetting what gaming is about. So it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. You said, come on, I still play hardwood spades and have fun. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun. That's what it's all about. It's just having fun. I mean, yeah, I understand for the price. Again, that's where the publishers make the mistake is that, well, this game is high quality. So you pay the $70. And then when you play the game and the game doesn't meet your expectations, then you feel like you lost. We weren't really feeling that way with the $60 price tag. Sometimes we did, but most of the time we didn't. When I see that $70 price tag, I get reluctant. And like I said, I still to this day have not bought a $70 game yet. I've always found angles to not pay for a $70 game. I use Xbox reward points. I'll wait for a sale, or I'll find it on sale on PC because you can pre-order the game through that. Nah, yeah, it has to be something that is, and even though for those games that I know that I'm going to buy, I always buy the deluxe editions or the ultimate editions of those games anyway. So yeah, I'm paying over the $70, but I know that I'm going to enjoy that game. So that's just the difference. But just like for instance the game that I was showing the gameplay to earlier, the Kazar game, the Berserker game. Like no, I'm not paying $70 for that. I'm not saying $70 day one for that. I'm just not doing it. It just isn't to me it's just not feasible. Because I mean it's going to be a game that I'm going to wait to play anyway because there's other games that's coming out. That I mean Origins look really fun to me. So I mean I'm going to be playing Origins. The Final Fantasy game is going to be coming on PC. Final Fantasy Rebirth. That I'm copping that. So yeah, so like yeah, and those games are cheaper. See, and that to me is where the situation is different. I mean, I do believe that Origin is $70, but I mean, I can still get it for a discount because of the Game Pass or whatever situation or whatever. But because I think I seen it and it was like I don't know like $5 or $6 cheaper. But I have rewards, so I can go ahead and I can get it for less than that. But you know what I'm saying? But for the Rebirth, I mean, hell, you can get it on PC for $48. So right now. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just ain't paying. I'm not paying $70 for no just regular for no standard game. It turns me off. So I could just imagine what a casual gamer how they look at it, and I think that is one of the biggest reasons what hurt single player games. What hurts up and coming games like that. That's why I think that Sandland is really smart for what they're doing with Exhibition 33 on top of being on Game Pass, but it also is going to be $50. It just makes too much sense. So now is it going to sell well? Who knows? I hope it does, but we don't know. We don't know. But I think that what happened with Yoshida and I think now since Yoshida's over with, I think this is the end of the best era of PlayStation. Like it's like, you know, Jim Ryan was probably the beginning of the nosedive in my opinion. Not to saying that PlayStation is going away or anything like that, but I'm just saying like the strategies just doesn't seem to be fitting right. Like if they go back to the single player threshold, that's fine. But what at what cost? That's the thing. Are they going to think that they're going to have faith? Yeah, it's no question that PlayStation gamers will buy the console. But are they going to still support the games? And they're not now. If you raise the price up to $80 standard, having a more higher quality game, which that's great and all. I don't know. That's why I say it just makes it more inevitable. It just seemed to me there's be more inevitable that these games are going to be coming day and date on PlayStation. I mean PlayStation on PC going forward. And I do feel that there will be games that will start to go out to more devices on Xbox and on Nintendo. I think that's just where Xbox and PlayStation is right now. I do. The Xbox is just doing it first. So he said Jim Ryan smelled a Microsoft cooking miles away, so he left. Yeah, and I saw somebody make a point and say that Jim Ryan was smart. Because they're talking about like I guess Microsoft wanted like 5% extra of the COD revenue, and now let me get this logic right? Because COD sold more on PlayStation, right? These stands want you to believe that 30% generated more money than Xbox's 70% that they got from PlayStation gamers and the 100% that they got from Xbox gamers who bought the game and the 70% that they'll be getting from from Nintendo gamers. Somehow PlayStation is winning this war because because PlayStation gamers bought more CODs than on Xbox. If that didn't make any sense to you for what I said, this is the type of logic that they're giving to their fan base. This is the type of think about this. So at any point, and we're talking about a 5X, so it would be 75%. It would be kind of close to what Sony was getting. What kind of Sony was kind of maneuvering to where it was 80%. Like Xbox was only getting like 20%. So you're telling me that extra 5%, that 5% that Xbox you didn't get, they're losing, but they still get 70% from PlayStation. The math, boy, them brothers and sisters out there don't be mathing right at all. But they just say something and then they'll get 100 likes, and I'm like, but again, the climate that we in now on the internet, anything is they can say any goddamn thing now, and for some people it will make sense. I don't know what the hell that they were tripping about, but that just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, I want to show these two things right here. Right here, back to back. And then we'll go ahead and we'll end it. But I want to show these two things right here. And ladies and gentlemen, do not sleep on Veilguard. That's the game that you see in the background. Dragon Age. That game is fire. Really good. Let's see. All right, so back to my whole point about everything with Yoshida and what Sean Lane and what everybody's saying and what's going on right here. Okay, so it says right here, it says that the PC gaming has outperformed console for years. Since 2021, console gaming's growth has slowed. Sales of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 has lagged behind previous generation for about 7 million units after 49 months on the market, right? So that's not a crazy amount. So like I said, it's still down. But see, that was something that this is misconception, right? Because when you see something that's saying like, well, Xbox's number is down 48%, that's in Europe, that does sound drastic and crazy, right? But if you look at their overall numbers of how far down they are in sales compared to what the Xbox One did, and it's around 4 to 7 million copies, which a million anything is a lot, but it's not overly substantial. Which so some people make it seem like that they've lost that like now they're at Wii U status. Like Xbox is selling the console at like 18 million and it hasn't moved, right? Because if you remember, the Xbox One stayed at like 13 million for it almost seemed like a couple of years, and then it picked up after so long. It sold really well in the first 2 years, and then like after that, it just kind of stayed stagnant for it seemed like some years. To now getting to the point to where if you're looking at that out of the 49 months, it's 4 to 7 million units down. And yeah, is that a great look? No, it's not a great look. But again, it's both consoles as well. Like that's why I was saying, like the PlayStation 5 will not ever catch the PlayStation 4. It just isn't going to happen. And maybe the 360, maybe the Xbox Series X and S will not catch the Xbox One. But if it doesn't, right, and it's a possibility that they won't. Well, they just probably won't. Then what is that telling you about the market itself? It seems like the console market is just at a point to where it's a generational thing. Gamers like us will always consume a console, but the younger audience, and we got to remember, people keep thinking that we're like the 20-year-olds or just now turning 30, and the kids is out here being 12, 13, 14 years old. No, we're around the mid to late 40s up in the 50s. We're the parents, grandparents, and the kids has now become the adults or the parents themselves. And those kids are not into consoles. They don't like that whole sitting thing. They want to move around and do everything and play games. And I remember when Ham was showing his daughter playing on the tablet, like that was nuts. My thumbs was hurting as fast as she was moving. Like that's when I'm looking at when I went on my cruise these last couple of days. The younger people that was on the thing, man, the way that they type and the way that they interact with with devices, it's stupid. I'm like, yo, what? Come on, man. And then like a couple of them paid for the extra service to so they can stay online. Like I'm cool. I don't need to be online like that. I get on port, I'm fine. Like I'm sitting here and listen to my music or vibe out, do stuff with it on the boat or whatever until we land somewhere or get port somewhere and we good. No, they got to be online. See, and that's the thing where's the biggest differences between us. We want that still want that console experience. It's just not the same for them. They don't even care. They're like they just don't. Like some of them do. Not like they like we used to or like how we do. So I just think that is one of the reasons why it is only going to get less, and especially with the cost of these consoles. If this Xbox Prime is going to be anywhere, if it's going to be anything of what I was bringing up with features and then the rumors of that, it will be capable of or will have the GPU power of a 5000 series, like the 70 or something like that, and then of course the PlayStation 6 is going to have crazy crazy power. So I mean, we already got a $700 mid refresh console out there. So how much do you think that the Prime is going to be? The Xbox Prime is going to it's going to be expensive. And how much you think the PlayStation 6 is going to be? And you think that sales is going to just shoot up? No, that people are going to sit there and just wait. They'll be the diehard like us. They'll get those things day one. They'll sell. They'll look really well in the beginning, but then after that first 2 years, it's going to be right back to where it was, and then the numbers are still going to be low. That's what I'm saying. Like each generation, each generation has gotten. PlayStation 4 kind of changed that, but then now it's going in reverse again. It's just a different time, man. It's just a different time. And then this last point right here is talking about what happened in Japan. And listen. This ain't on Xbox because Xbox don't sell like that in Japan. So it's like the Japanese market for video games in 2024 catered minus 25.4% to US 1.9 billion year over year. Hardware sales down 30.3 to 1.2 billion software versus software where it's down 17.9% to 700 million. Switch 2 cannot come soon enough. Right, like they're depending on the Switch. The Switch 2 is going to help a lot in Japan just because of that, right? But come on, man. That's crazy. And like I said, Xbox has nothing. This is between Nintendo and PlayStation out there. It's just people are just different out there. The gamers have kind of evolved and moved on from what they might think is a relic. And hell, these young kids damn sure don't like PC like that. Not all of them. I'm thinking in Europe or in the East, but in America, I mean, I sit there and I'll bring up something to somebody. I'm like, yeah, man, nah, man, I'm cool. I'm on this. Okay. And there's a cell phone or a tablet. So it's kind of crazy. So it is crazy. Richilli said, these kids are playing on a great mobile platform. We foolish where when their mobile games looked like doo-doo. But now Genshin, Zenless, Hanaki, I think that's how you say it, Wavering Wave, COD, Asphalt, mobile is rocking. Right, bro. I'm playing now I ain't played Genshin Impact in a long time, but I'm playing Zenless and Wavering Wave on my PC. And I know that those are mobile games, but hell, they don't look too much different. They don't. So, and they look great. Like, especially Zenless. Zenless look great. That's a cool ass little game. I think I might like Wavering Wave better. And I sit there and I downloaded Hoki, I think that's how you say it, pronounce it. Let me be country. But yeah, no, these games are really looking good. Matter of fact, I see Tryhard Fan all the time posting one of those mobile games. It's beautiful. It doesn't look like a game I would play, but it's a really beautiful game. Like, I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, that's the difference. The technology with these phones is so much better, and all you got to do is get you a bigger phone, and And then when they get the technology, because remember, we seen that a few years ago where they were going to start syncing. I mean, you can get phones now because my phone could sync to my TV, but if you get your phone start syncing to your TV, then what is the point of having a console? The only thing that's the difference is the latency. And if once latency catches up and it's playing really good, and you can get 1440p, 1080p on your TV through a stream, and it runs flawless, ain't nobody gonna be tripping out, man. Ain't nobody gonna tripping out. And if you want to just play it through your TV, through your phone, you getting that 4K experience or whatever, man. It's really nuts, man. It's really nuts how technology is, and it's and I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. It's just, to me, it's just like consoles is heading to a place to where it's going to be kind of like the CD, the record, and gamers have to start evolving and thinking about how everything around us has changed. There's no question that gaming is changing right before our eyes too. So I keep stressing that. I will continue to keep stressing that. So just be prepared for it. So I'm just saying, whatever we don't like what Xbox is doing right now, but just embrace for it, because then here in the next 4 or 5 years, when we see other people do it, then we go like, damn, Xbox did it again. They were ahead of the curve, and now they're thriving and doing good. Now Nintendo is in a position to where they are the only ones really standing to having exclusives and what they're going to do for their next evolution. We'll see. So, Curie said both them on PC and console is great. Yeah, no, I know. I've been playing those games on PC. So they run really good. They look great. So I just, matter of fact, I need to be showing some gameplay of that. I did record a little bit of gameplay of Zenless, and I did show some gameplay a while back of Weathering Wave. I don't know if I still got that gameplay, but I can get some more. So, but yeah, no, I'm just, it's really fun. But anyway, guys, I know that I've been rambling going on. I thank you so much for coming through. Let's go ahead and look at this poll right here. Pause. It said, I asked, is that's supposed to be D. Is the console market slipping? And 59% of you said yes, 41% of you said no. So yeah, I think that people are starting to see the writing on the wall. So I really do. So thank you guys for coming through, checking us out. I will be doing Fight Night later on tonight. I had it at 9 o'clock. I don't know how late the Thunder Cavs game will be, but right after that we'll be going live doing some Fight Night finally, and then we'll be getting back to doing Fight Night again on Sunday, where we'll be just showing some different fighters or whatever. That's where I'm kind of going to be reserving Sunday for, is for different, unique, different type of fighters. I mean, yeah, I can still play some other, classic. If we get a group of people to come in and want to play some of the other stuff, but Thursday is going to be where I'm just kind of playing Tekken, trying to get to that, and then whatever else is out there, if it's Street Fighter or if it's Mortal Kombat, because I definitely need to jump back in on Mortal Kombat. I need to, matter of fact, beat the stories, beat the DLC on Tekken and on Mortal Kombat. That's how kind of out of it I was last, here in 2024. So yeah, now I'm trying to get back and get all this stuff put together. So anyway, guys, come and check me out here later on tonight for Fight Night. Finally, the return of it, and we'll be ready to go. Let's see. Richili said Zenless Zero is the only reason I got a PS5, so I could play on my TV and do daily. I hope it comes to Xbox so you can sell the play, so I could sell the PS5 and get a better TV, bro. Listen, that was the whole reason why I went ahead and I just said I'm going to upgrade my PC, man. So yeah, it runs really well on PC. So yeah, and that's one of those advantages that PlayStation still has. I think that they own the studio. I mean, I think they do. But it's real good to see that Gishin is on Xbox, and I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. And and I think Sony owns them, so that's another game that's on Xbox that's owned by Sony, which people don't really talk about a lot. So it is what it is. But everybody have a good one, man. Really do appreciate y'all coming through. I will see y'all later on tonight, and then hopefully if I don't do anything, I'll have another tomorrow. Today's Thursday, so tomorrow I'll be back here tomorrow. So same time. So hope you guys will come and check me out. So thank you so much. We out. Is it Tencent that owns them? Okay. All right. So I thought Sony did own some stake, but I guess not. I guess Tencent owns the majority of Genshin, Genshin, however you want to pronounce it. Okay. 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 So all those games are owned by Tencent, and then just Sony just have a percentage of it, which amused me that Tencent is basically competing with itself with Wave. That's crazy. That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Yeah, I mean that, but I mean the one thing about it though too, there because like that the Hawaki or however you say it, Hakari or however you pronounce that game, I'm not the biggest fan of that game. So like I mean I downloaded all three, and then I downloaded four, but actually I didn't like one for sure. I didn't like that one game, and then I was playing a little bit of that one, and then I didn't like that. And the only two that so far that I like is Wavering Wave and Zenless. And I do like Gishing, but I'm like, man, I'm only one person. I only got so much time to play so much stuff. So, and again, like I said, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield here lately too. So, anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much for coming through, man. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.